Okay, let's be real. Buying a home sounds super exciting, but before you get too far into your dream house daydreams, we need to talk about the money. Don't worry, this is going to be quick and easy and you'll come out way more prepared. Let's jump right into how you can get financially ready to own that home you've been eyeing. Buying a home is a lot like training for a marathon. It's not a last-minute decision. You don't just show up at the start line, right? You prep, and that's exactly what you need to do for home buying. You start early. Check your finances now. Where is your money going? What debts do you have? It's not the most fun task, but future you is going to be so happy you did this instead of scrambling later. Trust me. Taking control of your financial picture early sets the stage for everything else. It helps reduce your stress, keeps you on track, and makes sure that you're ready to pull the trigger when your bank account is ready too. All right, now on to the budgeting. I know budgeting sounds like this really boring chore, but it's honestly one of the best things you can do. And hey, it doesn't have to be restrictive. It's about knowing where your money is going. So once you understand that, you can plan for that future house. Think of it this way. Budgeting is your game plan, not just for the everyday stuff, but for the surprises that always come up with homeownership, like the repairs, your unexpected fees, moving costs. Have you ever had to replace a water heater? Spoiler alert, it is not cheap. A solid budget helps you handle all those things without breaking a sweat. And remember, it's not about cutting out all the fun stuff. It's about balance. Want that fancy coffee? Go for it. Just make sure you're saving for your house too. All right, let's tackle the big one, the down payment. So you've probably heard people say you need 20% down, but that's not necessarily always true. The average down payment for first-time homebuyers is closer to 6 to 7%. Depending on your loan, it could be as low as 3%. That's a huge difference, right? But hold up, there is more. You also have closing costs. So those are typically going to be 2 to 3% of your home price. And while they're often overlooked, they're a real part of the cost. So what does that mean? So say you're buying a $400,000 house. You could be looking at around $12,000 in closing costs, but don't panic. Knowing your numbers ahead of time means that you can plan for them. So now, before we even talk about saving for the down payment, I want to kind of talk about your must-haves, an emergency fund. Why? Because life happens and it's expensive. So whether it's a surprise car repair or an unexpected medical bill, having 3 to 6 months worth of living expense saved up is a game changer. Okay, so picture this. You just bought your dream home and then boom, the roof leaks. Without an emergency fund, that's a huge headache. But with one, no stress. You're covered. Future homeowner tip, an emergency fund equals peace of mind. Okay, so next I kind of want to talk about credit. Your credit score is like your report card for lenders. The better your score, the better your interest rate, which means saving thousands over the life of your loan. Simple steps like paying off your high interest debt and paying bills on time makes a huge difference. So even a small bump in your credit score could save serious money in your long run. If your score needs some love, start working on it now before it's too late. Oh, and by the way, I'm Becca Pierce, realtor here on the Central Coast of California, and I'm making this whole home buying process easier for you. Let's keep going. So at the end of the day, prepping for homeownership is about building good habits, budgeting, saving, and keeping an eye on your credit score. It's not an overnight thing, but it's all about making sure that you're ready for that next big step. So I want you to start early, stick with it, and when you're ready to buy, you'll feel confident and more prepared. If this video helped, hit that like button and subscribe for the next part in my First-Time Homebuyer series. And if you got questions, drop them down in the comments. I am always here to help.